What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. And yes, this is what most of you have been waiting for me to talk about. Yesterday I refused to listen to Kanye West on Drink Champs, but after everybody clamoring about it, saying we need you to talk about this, you got to listen to what he said, I said, you know what? I got some washing of clothes to do, so I just let Kanye play. So as I'm washing clothes, I'm listening to Kanye, and I swear this is the stupidest show. I mean, my goodness, man. I don't know how people could listen to Drink Champs. I'm sorry. I really can't. It is so hard to listen to. It's a very hard listen. Nori and everybody there, they don't ask any real questions or any good questions at all. And the interview, it's all anytime somebody make a comment about anything, it was like, well, that's why I decided, bros before hoes. Oh yeah, bros before hoes. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I'm like, is this real? Yeah, I'm like, I can't. How do people young? This must be a young audience that watch this. I'm sorry. Maybe it's hating. You call it hating. I just really have a hard time listening to this show. I really do. So I wanted to listen to what Ye had to say more than listening to the questions because the questions were very bad as usual. Uh, as I'm listening to this and listening to Kanye West, as I hear him, once again, he has no sense of direction. It's all over the place, mixed with hypocrisy. For instance, he speaks that because, see, here's the thing: when you don't like somebody and you roll in a circle of like y'all all know each other, y'all got friends that's friends with both of y'all. You see what I'm saying? And if it came down to something serious, the same people y'all would go to handle something serious, y'all know each other. So it don't make no sense. Now, Kanye talked about, he gets into his Kanye modes where he thinks he's bigger than what he really is to the world. And that's what happens when you've had success. And he's a genius. Don't get me wrong, Kanye is a genius. He's a creative mind of energy that just, and with that comes along madness. But he is a genius. Now, the madness, you got to try to make out, take away all the nonsense that he says, and focus on some of the key elements that he said that actually was genius. In this interview, he basically was telling you what he could actually do, making his name, turning it public, and I don't know about no $1 trillion, but he could go public like Donald Trump did with his name. He took the Trump name public, and that really helped him out. So he's basically following the Trump formula again, and how Trump became just famous just for being Trump. He didn't really have to do anything else because all his other businesses was failing. So him going public and going on NASDAQ, ringing the bell and all that, that actually helped generate some revenue just for doing it. He mentioned Silicon Valley, a show that, I rave about all the time. I watched it in all 5 seasons that they had. These fools didn't know what the hell he was talking about. But nevertheless, the show went on. He spoke about Kim Kardashian being the face of beauty, of what beauty. He watched his wife become what beauty is supposed to look like. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. He said white girls used to tease his wife about having a big butt and all of this stuff, and now they're out here grabbing butts. True. And your wife went and grabbed some more butt. That ain't natural, cuz. She wanted her butt to be bigger. Then her sisters wanted a butt. So they went and grabbed butts. But is that really beauty? Or mental sickness? That's the bigger question. And the thing about Kanye is he say one thing and everybody gravitates to it because he says the right things. Then he keeps talking and it goes way into some all other things. And then he gonna touch on 9 to 10 different things that's going on in the world of Kanye. So he's basically breaking down a lot of different things, and a lot of stuff people focused on, I really didn't have any care for. Everybody cared about the Drake thing. They're just waiting to hear him talk about Drake. He said he battled Drake. I'm like, why wouldn't he battle Drake? He's Kanye West. I mean, Drake is basically a younger version of what Kanye used to be. This is the guy they looked up to when they were coming up. But it's like that old guy that you looked up to really jealous of you because you got to his fame and like, damn, I'm not ready to relinquish my spot. And it's cool if you want to compete to keep your spot. But when you try to eviscerate somebody in the process, then now you made it something else. You're trying to rig the game because you really don't want to compete. You just want the top spot. So, after all the yin and the yang he talked, you get to a position where you understand a little of where he's coming from. He's a man with a lot of enemies that he created. Because you have influence. And that always happens when you have influence. A man with influence, they will tear you down if you don't follow status quo. So he really just brought that up front line and center. Like he did with Kobe Bryant. Like, man, don't forget his Colorado situation. I mean, they just announcing his situation and people are going on social media trying to tear him down because they don't want anybody, like they saying, your kids could wear their jersey, you could have your posters on his wall, but he cannot be your savior. He cannot be idolized. He cannot be a martyr. These are truths. But I wish he would have stayed on that course. But yay, go to Looney Town. Then he started talking about signing Big Sean was the worst thing he ever did. Why would that even be? That's to catch people's attention. You got a guy who sold multi-millions of records, but he's the worst thing ever because he didn't support you running for president. Him or John Legend. Just because you gave them an opportunity don't mean that they're your slaves. You saying Pusha T voted Democrat, but he did not go public and say nothing against what have you. Where Big Sean and John Legend chose to speak out. Now, Legend has a connection with the left. He's not voting Democrat. He's actually got connections with the left. He's in a lot of different positions than Pusha T. Nobody's really asking Pusha any damn thing. So, my thing is, did you have this conversation with John and Big Sean? The answer is no. Big Sean just showed the photo after you done this interview. Right after you did the interview, you chilling with him. After the interview. Then Drink Champs just called Big Sean like, yo, you want to come on Drink Champs? Because they want that back and forth. Now, this is who you chose, your platform. You go on the show claiming you named your child Nori after Noriega. Another retarded situation. Then he goes at it with his beef with Chris. Right? Which got edited out. But he goes at it with Chris on what he don't like, how stuff is being leaked out, the kids' names, everything being leaked and coming outside the house, and she's in the house. But this is basically control over the wife because she's the manager, but Kanye is his wife and he wants control and tell her what to do and all this stuff. Like he says, I'm the reason she's on Vogue and all of these different things. You know, that's fine. But what Ye brought up is what he's trying to do is build wealth. Ye's a talker. Always been a good talker. He talks in circles. He confuses himself. He gets stuck in moments. He gets happy, real happy about things. Then he gets real angry, real quick, and the mood change. Then he speaks of himself as if he's a god. Then he speaks something that you need to hear. Then it's more rhetoric. Then it's a hypocrisy. And be like, man, he just said something different 10 minutes ago. But I get him. Because I've often said Kamala Harris disappeared after she got elected. I ain't seen her since. Have not seen her since. Now, other news of what's been going on. around the globe. The world has been seeing tons, mountains, loads of other people just tampering. You know what I mean? Just completely tampering with the way the structure is supposed to go with the educational system. He kind of touched on it a little bit. Saying how they're conditioning you to yield. Brought up prep school. They're prepping you. Prep school. Prepping you to succumb to authority and power, keeping you confused. He brought that up, but he didn't really go into it, but I got it. He often brought up, they might get me. They might take me out after this interview. The reason why he say that is because he's in the know, knowing that it is a possibility. He stated that before. It's not delusion. He knows exactly what he's saying when he say that. See, Kanye suffers from one infliction, and it's the infliction a lot of us suffer from. His infliction is the same as all the rest of us, the majority. It's what plagues social media. This is what plugs everybody. Quit begging and asking for people's approval. Quit groveling for acceptance. Affirmation is your weakness. It is what holds you down and keeps you weak. Everybody is a slave in some form to other people's liking of them, other people's approval. And that's Kanye. He needs that approval. He needs that applause. If he don't get that applause, he goes crazy. He wants people to love him. He wants that admiration. Like he said, I need the big stage. Right? Let me do what I need to do on that big stage. Now, wanting to be appreciated, wanting people to accept you, once you say, F that, I don't care if you like it or not. This is how I feel. This is what I think. I don't care if you like it or not. If you like it, cool. If you don't, that's cool also. See? But the world and society is telling you you can't do that. That's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Children of all ages, I want everybody to listen and understand that. Even Kanye West, hopefully he's listening to this, Chicago brother or brethren. Listen up. It's okay to not like somebody. There's no written rule said that I have to like you. And there's no written rules that says someone else has to like you because you did something good or you did something that you feel was everyone should love. They don't have to like you. They have a right to despise and be like whatever. The problem is people can't accept that. If you don't like something, there's something wrong with you, and everybody's got to get a mob together to come after you because you don't conform with everyone else's opinion of the word like. Hmm? Oh, you don't like this? Oh, there's something wrong with you. Because everybody else like it. Oh, you don't like this? Oh, it's something wrong with you. Because everybody else said this. They have programmed themselves so much that they would argue someone else's argument against you. It's not even how they feel, really. They believe that's how they feel because they're arguing someone else's argument. Well, such and such and them, they gave it 5 mics. And they said it was great. They said it was this and that. You wrong. You wrong. You can't have that opinion. If we have a discussion and somebody disagrees with me, I will give the reason why I feel the way I feel. And if they choose not to agree with me, then that's fine. People will be like, hey, LeBron James is the #1 player in the world, and I'll ask them, how old are you? Because in your age bracket, to you, he might be. Because you grew up seeing LeBron James your entire life. They have shoveled LeBron James down your throat so many times and so often that, damn, he must be great. The majority of the people don't even watch the games, so they wouldn't even know. Do you know the average of the people that actually watch LeBron James games? Like how many games a year they watch? We'll get to that on another day. I'll give you the answer on another day. Now, back to Ye. Ye, once again, has people fooled. He having people believe there is a coded difference with society and how people are judged based on celebrity status and moving up, and why, the digital tech world don't really respect the artists. He's the brokest guy in the room. Even though the richest guy in the world, he says, look, I got the biggest brand in the world. That's just how he thinks. And that's the attitude, but that's what you should have. I'm not going to say he's wrong for it, but a lot of the stuff, he gets delusional. I could never work with Kanye West. If I'm anybody, could not do business with Kanye West. Why? Because the business is not going to go well. You can't have somebody who's unstable running a successful corporation, right? Every day, something can change at the drop of a dime because they don't like the way the wind feels when it blows. Kanye has way too many people in his ear. So he's a guy confused and mixed up with a lot of other people's ideologies. He's talked to a shaman. He's talked to all of these different people He got like 3 shrinks, therapists, all these people because he loves to talk. He likes to hear his own voice. He's someone that has to talk it out, the process, rather than be quiet and just keep it in and see, and put it together in his head. He has to talk it out. I've seen that process done. I understand it. But he's also confused. And how he felt yesterday is different than the way he's going to feel tomorrow. And now, since he said all these things about Big Sean, and you was just with Sean, and you never mentioned any of those things that you just said to Sean, why wouldn't you? That means you're not real. That means that means that you're gonna go on this platform and do that, and then right after you do this interview, you don't even mention it to Big Sean, and you just said what you just said about it. But yet you just chilling with him. But if somebody just watched this interview and didn't know you met with Big Sean, they would really think like, well, damn, look at what he did, Big Sean. Big Sean is just this and that. It's crazy. Because you was right there and could have said it to him. But you chose not to. So you have basically became the same entity you was complaining about with others. Not being honest. You was just bragging about name dropping people. And talking about, oh, I don't like to do subliminals. I like to put the name out there. Well, you put the name out there. How did that go? I was always one that was taught, you get out what you put out. You know what I'm saying? If you put out this negative energy, you keep putting out negativity, you keep putting out all this stuff, people will show you. Eventually it's gonna come back to you, 10 times over. Keep ignoring situations that you know you need to take care of, it's gonna come back 10 times over. So sometimes you gotta stop doing whatever that's supposed to be so busy you got no time for to handle business. Now, all of these people are putting their careers in the hands of another artist. That's a big no-no. Some people look like, hey, I might not get a shot. This is my chance to get into the game. And yeah, John Legend, you did give him an opportunity, but John Legend music is what made John Legend John Legend. You see, you realize the talent that that person had. That person don't owe you anything besides making the songs. You don't control the way he feels. But you felt like, well, since this guy gave me an opportunity, I shouldn't have nothing to say, even though it's how he probably personally felt about the way you were. You were erratic. You was going through things. People go through things, but hey, I don't know how your relationship is with John. I can't say what was John's mindset. But you cannot expect your label mate, your artist, or someone you helped get into the game, you can have that type of, feeling about it, about what they felt personally, and why would you care? They don't owe you anything. They perform, their job on paper is to provide the music, whatever, and that's what they're supposed to do. And they did their job. You ate off them and got a lot of money off them. So it ain't like you didn't make money off them. So I believe me, there's other artists you didn't make a dime off of. But once again, it is hard to in this business to sign to another artist, especially when their work gonna come before your work. So a lot of them, another artist wants you to sign with them, especially if they see that you have talent, because they feel like they can use your talent to the maximum effect. Take it to another level. But did he mention anything about Kim on Saturday Night Live? Kim, and is he getting back up with Kim? Are they finna work it out? Hmm? Did he go into the problems with the rest of the family? Nope, because it wasn't his business to say that. So for any of the rest of y'all who want to know that stuff, go watch Bravo or H&E. And he was alluding to Hulu, Hulu was trying to, well, they're trying to move the Kardashians and do a show on Hulu with the Kardashian family. And Kanye has been a sticking point in the way of that whole situation with the Kardashians and all that. So that's why he's reiterating that that's his family. That's my family. Hulu, that's my family. So if anybody have any misconceptions about who made whom important, Kim Kardashian became a A-list celebrity because of Kanye West. Now, Kim, the mom, was the manager, but she would have just been some porn star, reality show person who never would have been on the stages right next to the Beyoncés and the Jay-Z's. Kanye was an A-list celebrity who brought her up to prominence. He took her to the next level. She was on the cusp of the next level, hanging around with Paris Hilton. Paris was using her to boost her benefit. Then she got mad at her and started hanging out with Nicole Richie, Lionel Richie's daughter. Well, ain't his biological daughter, but yeah, Lionel Richie. Nicole Richie. So after that, things changed. People don't really understand the ramifications of things until they see it implode right in front of their face. But for her, things started to change like right in front of their eyes, you know? And once it started changing right in front of their face, things started to go in a different direction. Paris, she already got money, so it ain't about money with her. She's just caring about her brand. And then, of course, the Richie girl wasn't hanging with her no more. Because they see Paris is only about Paris. And the Kardashians had a little money, but they didn't have it like that. The sex tape blew them up and brought her to prominence and got her the reality show. They just wanted to make the show about Kim. But Kim is very insecure, very shy. She was not like what people thought. She was easily controlled because she didn't know anything about really the outside world. Mentally, she was a ball of clay. Now, Kanye, and we're going to end this. And don't forget to hit the like button, people. And don't forget the Patreon. Don't forget, on the Patreon, it's going to be a lot different than what you just heard here for this 30 minutes. Because we're going to give you a lot of stuff that he was alluding to. I'm going to tell you exactly what was being said in code on the show. It's a lot of things that was being in code that they edited out. But that we'll get into that. On the Patreon, I'm gonna tell you what those codes meant and what's really going on. We're gonna get into that. And in case you probably wondering what that is, the Dame Dash situation, a lot of situations. We're gonna say that for the Patreon, so y'all can. My Patreons deserve to have that done the right way. Yeah, that'll be Patreon only. Now, let's conclude this with what he was saying with Drake about, yo, man, don't say you F my wife and all that. You tell myself, yo, man, I didn't F your wife. And don't make no lines talking about this and that. Now you playing games, and now my wife won't even listen to it. I'm like, man, he trying to act like he, slept with me and all that. Don't act like you slept with my wife, man. And trying to put that out there. That's just tacky. Like you gonna do that. And it's like, well, did you know that he didn't? Well, no, it came back that, but we never had a conversation saying that he didn't have my wife. But you just said that. You just said that. But anyway, we're going on this notion, okay? We're going to go with this notion because it needs to be said. He brought up that fact, saying, don't act like you slept with my wife. Now, what he's alluding to is not since he's been with her. He's talking about like prior to him. Don't allude to that. But Kanye, do you know how many sausages has been in that particular person before you got to it? Your girl has been ran in and out of than a Chinese store's doggone door or a Walmart door. Served a lot of people daily. You are aware Future and Drake did a double date. I'll say that for the Patreon. I'll say that for the Patreon. We'll go. I'm going too hard already. I'll say that for the Patreon. But you're aware she slept with many, many people prior to you. Okay, you could put a non-dress on her and put a cross on her, but you can't erase her past. Okay, I ain't gonna say she's been faithful now and all that stuff, but yay, come on, stop, just stop. Don't act like you married to Saint Mary. We know what you got. And you know what you got. So cut it out. So on that note alone, we're out. The Cash App is Carcino. My Patreon is Carcino for life. And buddy boy, you woo! We are going in. We are going in. We're gonna handle this stuff in code and what you didn't hear about. And we're gonna handle the stuff in code about the Ray J sex tapes that, Drink Champs chose to omit, the new tapes that Wack was talking about and all that stuff. Yeah, we're gonna get into all that on the Patreon. So anyway, I'm out.